Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Plant-Based Sweetheart. My name is Mary and welcome back. So if you have watched my last videos, then you saw how I showed you guys how I made 3 simple rice meals for Mary's mini rice mini. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made one of those rice dishes, and it's called MAQLUBA, which translates to upside down. It's an Arab word. And that was one of my favorite dishes of all time when I wasn't vegan, I wasn't plant-based. I used to love that meal. It was made with rice and peas and chicken, and the flavors, it's such a simple meal but very flavorful. But today I simplified it so that if you are on the Mary's Mini or if you're just on regular starch solution, you can still enjoy this. It's a very simple meal and very tasty. So let's get into the video. So before I get into this recipe, I wanted to talk about this not chicken bouillon. A viewer of mine brought to my attention that they put palm oil in this, and I'm not gonna throw this away. I'm gonna use it because that would be wasteful, but I found an alternative. I promised you guys that I would. And it's this broth base, and it's totally vegan, and it really tastes like chicken. It's actually, I hate to say it, way better than this one. And this has no palm oil, 0 fat, so we are good on the broth situation. All right, let's get into the recipe. So for this recipe, for 1 cup of rice, which I'm using the basmati rice, you can use whatever rice you'd like. I'm just using this because this is what I have. And I'm gonna make 1 cup of rice today. And for that 1 cup, I'm also going to use 1 cup of peas. And this is optional. Red pepper is totally optional, but it does give it a little flavor. You're gonna want a pinch of this. And allspice, we're gonna use 1/4 of a teaspoon. And you're also gonna use a pinch of cinnamon. And if you are salt-free, then leave out the salt. If you're not, salt to taste. And that's pretty much it. That's all in this recipe. Simple, easy, but so flavorful. So the first step is we're going to cook the peas, and we don't want to overcook them. So we're going to put the heat on low. Like if you have an electric heat oven, you put it on 2. That's pretty low. And I'm going to start off with some 1/3 cup water. So next I'm going to add the chicken bouillon, and it says 2 teaspoons for 1 cup of broth, but we don't have 1 cup here, so I'm only going to use 1/2 teaspoon. Actually, I'm going to use a whole teaspoon because I really want it to have that chickeny taste. So after all, this original recipe had chicken in it. Next, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. That was a heaping spoon. Next, I'm going to add the cinnamon, and the cinnamon, I mean, is very little. I'm going to show you guys, like that little. It's meant to be in the background, not front and center. Now I'm going to add, same thing, red pepper flakes, and I'm going to put some in my hand before I drop it into. That's a good amount for me. Going to stir it up a little bit. Oh, that smells so good. And I'm not adding salt to the peas because the salt is going to go into the rice. So now that's well incorporated, we're going to add the peas. I'm going to cook this for a minute or 2. I don't want to overcook the peas, and then I'm going to set this aside. Okay, you guys, so I'm actually going to put up the heat just a little bit so that it does get warm. Okay guys, so this is going to sit on the side, and hopefully the peas will soak up some of that juice, and if it doesn't, that's totally fine because it's going to go over the rice anyways. So here I have the rice, and this step is totally optional. You can skip it. I like to toast my rice a little bit before, and I'm going to put the heat up a little bit. But if you are worried and like to wash your rice, go for it. You can totally skip this part and just wash your rice and put it in. You don't have to worry about toasting it, but I like to do my rice this way. Okay, so my rice is nice and toasty. There's a delicious aroma of it. And now I'm going to add 2 cups of water. Ooh! That was hot. Next, I'm going to add more bouillon. I'm going to do 1.5 tablespoons since I used 1 tablespoon in the peas. Again, that's going to give it that chickeny flavor. Mix it up real good. Next, I'm going to add the salt. And if you are salt free, feel free to leave it out. And that's about how much I'm using. So I'm going to let this come to a boil and then lower the temp and cover it. And then I'm going to let it cook for 10 minutes. Once it's done cooking, I'm going to quickly take the top off, dump the peas in. I'll show you guys. And then cover it. Let the peas kind of steam cook in there and let the rice soak up the flavors in the juice of the peas. I'll show you guys all of that. Okay, so it's actually been about 8 minutes and the rice is ready. Just turned off the heat. And I'm going to give these a swirl and quickly dump everything on top and let it sit for another 10 minutes. Okay, it's been sitting here for 10 minutes and now I am going to fluff it up and mix it up in there. Oh, it smells so good. It's important to fluff with a fork and not anything else because then you will ruin the texture of the rice. I don't know if you guys could see, but put this down. If you can see the seasonings on the rice, it's all mixed up. It smells so good. And that is it. Now I'm going to plate it for you guys. So I'm about to enjoy my delicious rice and I wanted to share with you guys. It's kind of like I'm doing a review on California balsamic. This Simply Lemon balsamic vinaigrette is so tasty. I put it in my very simple salad. Normally I would have used dried mint and lemon, and then this instant I used lemon balsamic, but I did squeeze some lemon on top and it is so fresh, so yummy, and it pairs so deliciously with this rice. And I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you make it, please tag me on Instagram, comment below. And if you enjoyed the whole video, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell for further notifications. And I will see you next time with another delicious recipe.